Good day and welcome to the channel, guys. This is TP Visuals, and I am about to edit this image right here using a technique called frequency separation. Now, this video here is best for beginner photographers and beginner editors. So without any further ado, the first and foremost thing that you have to do is to take this background layer here and duplicate it twice. Now, there are two methods into doing this technique. Either you're gonna click and drag the background and put it here on the plus icon so that it can give you a copy of the background. Then again, you take the background copy and duplicate it again with the plus sign icon, release, then you're gonna get copy 2. That is the first method of duplicating your background. Then I'm just gonna undo this by pressing Ctrl Z, Ctrl Z, Ctrl Z. Another method of duplicating the background, you can either press on your keyboard Ctrl J and Ctrl J twice in order to get your duplicated layers. Now, when you're dealing with frequency separation, you have to name your layers, guys. It's very important that you name your layers. So the top layer here, which is layer 1 copy, we're going to double click on it and we're going to rename it into texture. Texture. This is our texture layer. Press enter. Then we come into layer 1, double click on it, and this one we write it color. We rename it into color because we are going to separate the textures from the color, or either way you're going to separate the color from the textures anyhow. So now, to start off with our frequency separation technique, you click on the texture layer and disable it here on the eye icon. Disable the eye icon, then click on the color layer, then you go to filter. Now, here on filter, according to what I've learned, I've also seen people use two techniques here. Either you are going to come here to blur, then use Gaussian blur. You can see it blurs out the image. Yeah, this is Gaussian blur. Another method, you can still come into filter and go into noise and click on dust and scratches. It still does the same thing as Gaussian blur. So, but for the purpose of this video, let's just use let's just come to filter and use blur. Then come to Gaussian blur, click on it. Then as you can see, the blur radius here is too much for this image, so we don't need it. So move the slider backwards to 0.1, and then from here what you do, let me just zoom out so that I can see the model's face. What you do here, here we decide how much details are we willing to lose on the model, how much details are we willing to lose so that we can be able to smooth the subject out. So you move the slider, gradually moving the slider, looking at these textures here on the model's cheek. Let me just zoom it in. So taking a reference at this model's textures here, like on the pimples, you move the slider to a point where you can almost not be able to see, or at a point where you feel like now you're comfortable to place it at. So I think for me 3.8 is going to be fine for now. Then you click OK. Okay, then you come back to the texture layer. You unhide it. After still on the texture layer, you come into image, tap image, then you click on apply image. Okay, then the source is the image itself, the layer. We're going to choose the color layer because we are separating the color from the textures. Then remember that this is an 8-bit image. We won't be pressing the invert button, but for the blending mode, we're gonna change it to subtract. We're gonna change it to subtract. The scale is going to be 2. The offset will be 128. As you can see now, we are left with the gray texture. After having this gray texture, you click on OK. Now, to go back to the image, you just come back into the blending mode from normal, change it to linear light. Click on linear light. After that step, you can either press shift and hold, then click on color so that you can select them both. Then you press Ctrl G, or you can click and drag them to this little folder icon here to make a group. So the group, you're gonna call it, double click on it and call it frequency separation, but I'm not going to write all of it there. Then you open the folder, you disable the texture layer. So reason being because we want to deal with the color layer. We want to deal with the colors of the model for now. So from here, what I suggest that you do, at least you zoom into the image a little bit so that you can see what you are dealing with here. Zoom in like that. Yes. So beg your pardon. For here, you're gonna come into your brushes. Where's my mixer brush tool now? Okay, I think I know what's going on. Let me move out of this tab and use essentials. Then you're gonna come into brushes. Then you're gonna take your mixer brush tool under the brush tool. Then here are the settings for the brush. You're gonna take a soft round brush. These are your general brushes. You're gonna take a soft round brush, this one here. Click on it. Then you're gonna set the hardness. Okay, let me get out of this window. Come here. Come here. Yeah, this is what I want. Soft round brush again. Then the hardness, you're gonna set it to 0. The size doesn't not matter for now. Then you are going to click this option right here, which selects. You're gonna click a clean brush every time when you after each stroke the brush must be clean. Then you're gonna deselect this brush here, deselect it, and you're gonna use this one here, which is clean the brush after each stroke, the one that we selected here. So it's gonna be on custom. The wet is going to be on, let me use 5, but mostly I've seen other photographers use a wet of 9, low 75, mix 90, the flow is 100%. You do not click on sample all layers because when you brush over the subject, it's going to reveal the texture, of which is not what we want right now. So sample all layers, you leave it unchecked. So now you're just going to increase your brush so that you can fit where you want to paint. So okay, this is the process that's going to take time now, guys, but in order to get good results, you're gonna have to invest time. So I guess your clients will just have to be a little bit patient. So without any further ado, then I'm just going to paint over our subject. Paint over our subject in this way. So remember that we are separating the colors, guys. In this layer, we are dealing with the color layer, and you see the way that I'm moving with the mouse. I'm following the face structure, the model face structure. I'm not just randomly painting. I am following the structure of the face. So please bear with me. So after that, you do this individually, guys. So I'm just going to do this part here. Just going to paint over this part here, like this. Paint over here. As you can, I hope that you can see what's going on here, guys. Our model or the image is becoming smooth now. So to blend them, just gonna decrease the brush size. Then just on the edges right here, this is where you blend them together. Blend it together like this. Blend it together like this. Okay, still on the very same note, you blend each color separately on this dark spot here. Blend here on the dark spot only. Follow go with the flow of the image. Fill brush. On the side, you're gonna do it separately too. Here, this way. Separately too. Here, this way. Okay, you follow that direction, guys, so that your image won't look distorted. Okay. Oh, and avoid the edges of the model, guys, because if you paint over the sharp edges, you might not have sharpness in your image. Okay. Hope you are following through. I'm just gonna paint here. See this one here, guys, you have to be very careful about it because it takes a lot of time to do this. So I hope you are going to get something beneficial from here. Yeah, as well. Remember to follow the structure of the face, guys. Remember to follow the structure of the face. Go along with the structure of the face. Just gonna paint over here, around the cheek, over here as well. Okay. Just follow the structure of the face, guys. Remember, that's important. The highlight here separately as well. Separately as well. If you are wondering why is the image blurry, it's because of I have disabled the texture layer. So if I click on the texture layer, you can see that the image is visible again with the textures. But for this technique, let's just deselect the texture layer for now, and we're only left with the color layer. Remember that we are separating the colors from the textures, hence we got the texture layer off for now. Okay. This is a very, very important step, guys, when editing with frequency separation technique. Okay, so you do not want to miss this step. You do not want to miss this step, guys. You know, sometimes when you're a photographer, videographer, editor, or a retoucher, sometimes you wake up discouraged, as I was today, but I thought, you know what, let me just do one thing a day that's going to take me closer to my goal. So, okay, remember, this is for the skin, guys, so you gotta do the whole of the skin here. So I'll just try to be a little bit faster, but remember to take your time, guys. Remember to take your time when you are editing here. Remember to take your time. Take your time. Take your time. This step is very, very important. Very, very important. Okay, so now for skin. Still smoothing out the model skin. Now let's switch the texture layer on and see. As you can see that the textures are still there. Let's just deselect it for now again and continue painting over our subject in this way. Remember to follow the structure of the model, and doing so, keeping the colors separate. This is how you get good quality results, good quality professional results. Use the mouse, the brush size. Remember, you are doing individual colors in the shadows here, and individual colors well. Individual colors well. Okay, let's come to this side. Remember guys, no master or nobody was born as a master of anything. All of us had to learn, and we had to learn from somewhere or from somebody. Nobody was born a master of anything. We all had to learn. Learn. Invest time in learning. So I have invested time in learning this technique. Okay, let's see. Smooth this out. Here, let's see. Okay, we are about to get done with the model skin. Okay, we zoom it back and see. Okay. Alright, now I know that the image looks blurry, reason because of the texture layer is off. Now just look at the magic when we turn on the texture layer. Wow, this is nice guys. Look at all the textures on the skin. They are still there intact. They are still there and intact. And even on her body, the textures are still there. Textures are still there. So now, in order to remove pimples like this one here, this one here, this one here, or this one here, you will click on the texture layer, this one here, then come into the clone stamp tool, this one, clone stamp tool, click on it. I'm just going to reduce the brush size because I have zoomed in. Then just next to the pimple or blemish guys, you are going to press the alternative, then you're going to click, then you're going to put it over there. As you can see, that pimple is gone. So that is how you remove the pimples or the blemishes in the texture layer. So you're gonna sample a clean part, click, paint, or click over there. Same thing all over, next to the paint, click. So this is how you remove. Okay. So I don't want to ruin too much by removing too many pimples from her face, but I hope that you get the idea and you can see the technique.